So now that our base HTML is loading the files from our new theme, we need to start building out our custom CSS. And that's really where our primary colors and style guide exists. Take the colors that you've picked out already, and now we'll add them here as links, and we can note those primary colors and the palettes that we want to use. But then we want to note the background we're using. Or is it actually black in the theme? Do we want a slightly lighter, slightly darker? Experiment and make sure that we're comfortable with what background color we're going to be using. And you can have lighter and darker forms of the background if you'd like to note that on certain sections the background is lighter, just do a consistent shade. We want to note those. Same thing with the font. Sometimes the font's pure white, sometimes it's various shades of gray. We just want to note those so it's consistent. Same thing with the standard Bootstrap colors. So Bootstrap buttons come with, and also not only Bootstrap buttons, but info boxes, all sorts of elements come in some standard colors, pretty familiar to you, and you can easily check them out at getbootstrap.com. To now overwrite those colors with variations that line up with our own color theme. So primary is typically a blue color, and for this particular project we're working on, I think blue would work, but we'll need light and dark versions of that as well. Successes really ought to be green, or some sort of bright and the accept or go forward, confirm type of color, where warning is red, and oh no, I'm sorry, danger is red. Warning is yellows or oranges or caution. I've seen them work well as browns too, so that can work. Info is usually light blue, as just like an info box. You can see what they are here, and we can play off of those, and so we can break from the typical color scheme, but keep in mind that these are used as app notifications, so we want them to, and a success should be cheerful. It should reading this green, it should have a similar effect as reading a red one. So that does communicate some information, so we want to keep that pattern aligned. We can go ahead and start to build out the Bootstrap. So BG primary is a background color that uses the primary, and so we can go on and build these all. BG info, and we can override what's built in by starting to build this. The body background color, and all sorts of things. We can start to lay down basic rules for all of our color components. The rest of those rules we're going to find out later on as we target particular pieces of our theme. We're going to inspect them, find what classes are color coding them, and then put them in the appropriate category on this CSS page and overwrite their colors, so that we can start to implement this color scheme consistently through all the elements that we are currently using in our page and that we build to represent components of our applications.